Hi, everyone. Hi. I just got my dinner and I haven't eaten since breakfast because I was nauseous. So, my apologies, but I'm hungry.
Want me to read the comments?
I will click them. You can read them.
Barrett says, "Hey, friends." Hey, Barrett. CB friends. Yo. And RP says, "Hi, everyone." Morgan Lee. Hello. And a JC. Hello there. Cool Gamer. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Artemis is trying to figure out how to get my bread. She is obsessed with bread.
Bread is amazing.
She will, in fact, eat through plastic wrappers to get to bread.
CB says, "I can't be active in chat because I'm about to start painting again, but I'm watching."
Yeah, her family recently moved, so while she's on holiday, she has to paint her walls and arrange her new room and everything.
Nice. Yes, please eat. You must nourish thyself. No need to apologize.
Yeah, so this was the third month in a row that my pharmacy was having issues getting my shot in stock and put me off taking it again. So I said, fuck it. We have my shot and I know that it's good in my fridge for 3 months because they used to give me three of them at a time. But yeah, so I'm just waiting until December to take my shot. But this also means that I'm willingly just dealing with my migraines and stuff, and my sinuses have been draining, and I've just been nauseous. So it's been fun, and it rained today.
Eat the bread.
Oh, she's so mad at me because I'm so good at keeping the bread from her. She's trying to figure out different angles.
Yep. It's very endearing.
She's like, "Mother, I don't understand. This is a chip. You don't like chips." She's like, "Damn it, you're right." Have some of the bread when I'm done.
CB wants bread.
I would give you bread, but you're not here.
I have a third of a loaf of sourdough left in the kitchen. And some good old white bread, too.
I don't know if you can hear the crunch. Let me know. I'll mute myself when I'm chewing.
I can't really hear it.
How was everybody's weekend?
Well, what did I do Saturday? I think Saturday
we bought a car.
Oh,
finally. Yeah, I don't know if you know. So I think everybody knows that in February we got in one accident that was not our fault. And then in October we were my mom and I went to pick Chris up, and we got into an accident that was her fault. So we were we were just borrowing my mom's truck for a while. And finally, the second one went through. Since it was our fault, everything got settled faster. Mm-hmm. So we went ahead and used that to replace the family vehicle. So now we have a vehicle again. Still only one vehicle, so I'm still very housebound and going I'm mildly stir crazy, but it's fine.
This weekend was Ryder Castle Steagle Warfare, so I was a co-host on 2 streams. My second monitor arrived. I now have a monitor, and Sam is gone. No, I assume it was a cat. Yeah, I have a monitor, and I put up my Christmas tree with my sister over FaceTime because we had Thanksgiving in October up here, so it's okay. I have a tree. It is a Canadian tree. You can tell by the toque as the tree topper, my winter hat. So, yeah. And the inmates now have complete control. Exactly. Yeah. I watched some anime over the weekend. I finished Attack on Titan.
Sorry, the internet went.
Yeah, I've been regaling them with my weekend.
Yes, I heard that you watched some anime and that you had complete control of the stream.
Yes. So I finished Attack on Titan. I watched 5 episodes of Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War, and I watched 2 episodes of Chainsaw Man. So, yeah. Just good. Oh, hi, Roy.
Are there new episodes of Chainsaw Man out, or are you just like...
I'm rewatching. I just enjoy it. I'm reading it right now. I'm on volume 8. So,
I was just checking because Chris and I had been watching it. So
yeah.
I was like, oh, if there's new episodes, I got to see them.
I wish.
The inmates now have complete control.
Mm-hmm.
There she is. Yep, I have returned.
Yes.
Oh, what do you have to eat? Then go eat dinner. I can kind of help you, yeah. Do you want to make them in the air fryer? All right.
Where's the talent?
So
that is a good question.
Okay. Come here, Roy. He had a bath today. He's all
I know. I'll find it. So we've got a good towel, and I used the good towel to shower earlier and dry my hair, which means I didn't leave it hanging to dry where it should be. And so now Chris is like, "Where's the towel?" And I'm like, "That's a good question. I don't know where it is." He's like, "You owe me a towel." We need to buy more good towels, but my God, our towel's expensive.
Yeah. Jennifer, I don't know if Des is streaming tonight. I haven't heard that she is.
She usually starts about the same time I do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, at the moment, it's like that in the braid. The braid itself is pretty thick, but I actually cut it recently, so I'm not like sitting on it anymore.
Hi, Roy.
Tree Torque, could you educate an American on what exactly a tree toque? Is it toque?
Toque. It's a toque, which is
This
a
hurts
hat.
my soul, Pixie, but you're not wrong.
It's just a winter hat with pom-poms. I'll take it off. I put it on the tree, but I don't have a tree topper. So it's my tree toque.
I know what it's talking about now. I assume she's getting it for everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a regular old.
I knew what a toque was. I just, when you said tree toque, I'm like, oh, that's got to be a thing that I'm unfamiliar with. Like, no, literally just.
It's literally a toque on a tree.
I'm like, oh, I get it now.
I bought this at the Christmas market my first year in Toronto.
Aw. So, how long ago was that?
2016.
For a hot second, I thought you were going to say 20 years ago. I'm like, wait a second, Laura. We're the same generation. But that's sweet. So a toque is a beanie with the side things. Yeah, I understand now. I think all toques are technically knitted or crocheted, but I don't think all beanies are.
So,
It's any beanie. I could be wrong though. That's just how I have seen them. Hey yo, how are you?
I was on the 3 Nut stream this morning, watching it. In the comments, I spelled squirrel wrong every time I typed it and hit enter.
JC, I feel like half the time nobody realizes the typos are there until I stumble, and I don't even mean to point them out. I just fuck up reading it because of them. So, but it's okay. Heyo, how y'all doing? Okay, I'll give you a little bit of bread now.
I have one more treat for Roy.
Well, I've been waiting for her to settle down and just sit there for a while, because when she's coming at me for it, I don't want to reinforce that behavior. But now that she's just been sitting there watching me patiently, I will reward her. This is very bad for you, as long as you and I are both aware that we are making a very unhealthy decision for you right now. My child just went, okay. Woo-hoo. I learned something new today, but I don't remember what it was. Laura, introduce yourself while I try to figure out what it was that I learned today.
I'm Laura Nettles. I write horror with a book out called Tiny Shivers. I write paranormal romance. Well, that too. Contemporary romance with 4 short books out on the pen name Samantha R. Silverstone. And I have a dog who is very needy. His name is Roy. And, yeah. My favorite part of Thanksgiving is stuffing.
That's what the last treat was for, so you could time that perfectly. I am writing Mom Samantha L. Nassett. On my channel, I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer-parent things. I have a website, SamanthaLNassett.com, where you can go to read samples of my writing. You can also sign up to my newsletter, which will be going out by the end of November. And I have a thing that I am announcing in the newsletter. So if you're not signed up, sign up so that you get to learn what it is ahead of everybody else.
Wait a second. It's been a little while. Is this your new chair?
Oh, yes, but this is my robe.
Yes.
My new chair looks like this.
Nice.
I'll show you off the new chair in a second. If you would like to join my server, you can do so at my dollar Ko-fi link down below. Oh.
Sandwich for the win.
I've got to read, Josh. What?
And Tina has given the Give Sam Money link.
Yes. Okay. I'm taking the camera off for a second. So, in my chair, it's got this thingy right here that slides out.
Uh-huh.
And you can put it back in the chair. But because of the way I sit, I just leave it out all the time. And it's got nice armrest.
Nice.
And yes, this is a new chair. And I can sit in this thing all day. And my butt never regrets it, so. I do have to readjust these again now. Or they're gonna bunch up on my shoulders. And I'm sure absolutely nobody is surprised I have a leopard print robe.
Put your robe on my shoulder.
Thank you. Yes, the new queen. So Artemis also really enjoys the chair. One, because she can like chill on the footstool with me, and also every time I come in here, she and or Boulder are just sleeping in the chair, and I'm like, well, if that's not a sign of its quality, I don't know what is. And what shall everybody be working on tonight?
So I have
Who's
two more
doing
documents. I have
Okay,
two more
go ahead.
documents to read and critique and send off the emails to a group of people. So I've already done 4. I have 2 left that I need to get done tonight.
I believe in you, Laura. No, I gave you bread. Now you must love me.
So the documents are 6,500 words apiece. So,
That's not too bad.
yeah, it's just doing the inline comments and then doing the write-up.
It's just work.
Yeah.
And doing work at this particular time of year is like, oh my gosh. So my children, I do not struggle with them for most of the school year, but my goodness, the past week or so, they have just not wanted, like, I have to remind them to do the same thing 5 times in like 20 minutes. It takes them so long to get started on their homework, and then they finish their homework in 10 minutes. And I'm like, bro, we could have been done an hour ago.
No.
Like, I can't blame them because I don't want to do things because it's that sleepy time of the season when like it's too cold to have the AC on, but it's not cold enough that you can keep the heater on without it getting that lethargic warmth.
Mm.
So it's like, do I want to feel sleepy all day or do I want to be cold? And the answer is neither. I do not want either, and yet here we are. Chris found these really cheap nightgowns, and we got me 2 of them to try. I have been living in them. This is one of them. I am just like, I'm going to be an anime character now because they come in like 14 different colors. I have a blue and a green one, and we bought me like a burgundy one. So I'm like, I'm just going to be an anime character this winter. You're just going to see me in the same thing, just a different color every day.
You can make the blue one an Uchiha one.
Yes, I can get the little bit. It's all coming together. I'm like, if I just put a belt around them, they just look like a cute dress when I go to Walmart. So I'm like, bruh, I just need these in leggings all winter. That's my seasonal Sam. Aw, get you a partner who looks at you like Roy looks at Laura. Aww.
He's my handsome man. Oh, hello.
Our new puppy Riju. Our new puppy Riju earlier, she like comes over to my chair and she's just looking up at me and she just starts making the cutest little chirp whine. I'm like, I forgot puppies can chirp. So
He's back.
He's like, I heard about needy pets.
Hi. Hello, my precious boy. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And instead of getting up to clean the room like I was intending, I just like put her on top of me and she went right to sleep. It was so cute.
No.
I'm only indulging this until she is too big to lay on top of me, and then she'll have to be satisfied with a blanket right beside the chair. Which
He
normally
sleeps on me all night. He is the bestest weighted blanket.
Oh yeah.
It's a warmer as well.
My big dog, she sleeps on my legs to ensure that they stay warm, especially my feet. If my feet are cold, she will literally grab them with her paws and pull them under her chest and then just lay her head, which her head is about the size of my calf. So, I mean, like, I'm a small person, but like she is also huge. She like there are bigger dogs, but she is big.
Yeah.
And then right now, Riju is part lab, part pit. So I know that she's gonna get to a like medium to large medium. But like right now, I'm like I am taking advantage of the small dog energy until she is not a small dog anymore. She though, the moment she gets in bed with us, she will immediately like she likes to go under the blanket, and then she'll go under the blanket in between me and Chris because it is the warmest spot. And then within like 10 minutes, she's overheating, and so she'll like climb down to our legs, or she'll climb up and then wrap herself around my shoulder, which is fine for the most part until she decides she needs to chew my hair. And I'm like, dog, no. I was so concerned about the damage that my hair might sustain to teething puppy until I like washed it in.
Let me see if I have pictures of Roy.
Of puppy Roy? Or just Roy in general? I will accept both eagerly.
Just Roy in general. This is me when I'm trying to like sleep or FaceTime my family. He's just licking my face. Like, stop it!
Like, mother, I wanted your attention.
Exactly. It's like, dude. So that's when I have to plea for help when my family laughs at me.
If you want pictures of my puppies and my cats, I have a chat room in my server called Silver Linings, where basically we just share whatever makes us happy, and therefore a lot of pet pictures get shared in there.
Nice.
If you send me the photo or pull any of them up, I will share them with the group. See, this was how I woke up the other day. I woke up and I really needed to pee, but they had taken my legs hostage. And then this was earlier when I was like, "Oh, I'll sweep up the garage den," and she was like, "No, I need cuddles." Oh wait, it didn't. I did the share tab, not the. Hold on. There we go. But she's getting big.
She is. Holy cow.
I know. We got her when she was 6 weeks, and now she'll be 11 weeks tomorrow. We have almost had her half her life. RP's last day at my farm job was on Friday, and he got to 70K on his whip, so I'm going to be working on that and trying to finish it. About how far away from finishing do you think you are? Like 3/4? If you like are good at estimating your word count, do you think like another 20, 30K? Thank you. I will either be working on finishing my first round of revisions for Chapter 4 for Save Her Soul, or I will be working on my newsletter.
This is Roy with long hair.
I need to see his face. Oh, I love it though. He looks like a pillow.
He's just a total mop. Come on.
He looks like one of those shag pillows that I like to put my face in.
Yeah.
What just happened over there?
I don't know. I was. We should just aim to buy.
Where is Riju? Bring her here. Bring her to me.
It's so cute and little. first got the grass pad.
My big dog is not as tolerant of toddler Riju as she was of baby Riju. Are you okay?
She's
What did you do?
So big!
Huh? What did you do to Vi? Did you get her leg? Did you get her leg?
Maybe.
She's like, I didn't do anything, Mama. Vi's a meanie. You know you can't bite her leg.
This was Roy when he first got his harness. Oh, come on.
I'm done with
Play.
Alright. Go put it in the kitchen.
Trying to bite the harness off.
You gotta fight that harness. Maybe 10 to 20K depends on how much I want to put in, because I have some scenes that I'm not sure if I really want to put in them yet. That's relatively close, though. I mean, I know it's still a lot, but it's like agonizingly close. Well, hopefully we can get you a good bit there tonight. I'm pulling up.
You were such a cutie.
This is Riju.
You're still a cutie.
We had accepted that we were not going to get another dog again, because Vi seemed to have transitioned to being a solo dog pretty well. And so we were like, okay, well, we'll just stick with one dog for now. But then our neighbors were like, hey, we're giving away these puppies. And I saw a picture of her. And I messaged Chris, and I was like, I want one. I cannot explain it. I need that puppy in my life. And then we went and we picked her up.
Little wrinkles in the forehead with the ears.
Oh yeah, she's got the pity face. Pity face, lab coloring. And the back of her skull is thankfully shaped like a lab's, which I know may sound a little weird, but the thing is, the back of our old pit bull's skull was shaped in such a way that her collar would come right off when she dipped it. The lab head is broader, and so they can't slip it off.
I want to pet her.
I would let you. When she's not letting me put her toward the camera. Hold on.
There's a white belly.
She's like, no.
Heck
She's like,
no.
I'm gonna stay cuddled with you. It's like, mother, what are you doing? Don't sigh at me.
The teenage blues.
She's like, I gotta put up with this shit. Are you gonna go to sleep right there? See, she's buckling down. All right, no, I paused you, timer. I'm fighting with a timer. I don't have time to fight with you. Yeah? Are we ready to start our first sprint? Get our stuff done.
I suppose.
I mean, you can stare at her as long as she's on the screen. I don't know if she's going to leave me or lay down. Oh, but here we go. And can I do the countdown? Can I? 3, 2, 1, go.
We survived. Can't hear you.
I unmuted the wrong me. So everybody tell us how that sprint went. Hello and welcome, Bella. I have to figure out where this toothpick went. Normally, I would just say, fuck it, I'll find it after the stream. But I can't be having Reed you finding it first.
I am on page 6 right now. I'm doing inline edits for a critique. So,
Out of
that's a good question. 21.
21 or 41?
21.
Okay. Well, you're more than a third there.
Yeah.
So, Bella, how'd you do that sprint? You arrived.
Can't you hear us?
You are muted. Hold on. Wait, no. I've taken my hand off it. I was trying to unmute her, and there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Cool.
ended up.
I was having some trouble with it.
Muted. I was like, "Oh, you're muted. Let me just unmute her." And then, right as I unmuted you, you went to unmute you, and it was just going like we kept clicking it. So I was like, "I will take my hand off it."
I did nothing for that sprint because I just got off work, so I'm like decompressing. That's why I was late.
We appreciate
Yeah.
you being here.
I'm tired. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. But
There's
yeah,
no more
I did
bread.
nothing that sprint.
Let's see, Nikki got 125 words. Nia got 107 since she joined. Because apparently YouTube is just hiding me from people now. Hiding me from people, telling other people we started 5 hours ago.
I had that before on somebody else's stream. It said they had started 5 hours ago.
So rude. Such a very reliable notification system we got.
Mm-hmm.
RP got 350 words. He forgot for a minute that he was getting to one of his favorite scenes. Oh yeah, love that.
Nice.
RP says hello. Kelly sighed and says, when you try to take your meds and it takes longer because the cat decides to be a pest, like, no, my dude, this is a shot and I don't want to poke you. Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. Also, Kelly says, hi, Bella. I was making some good progress in my little revision, and then I got to this part where it just says it's parentheses, describe bedroom parentheses, and I'm like, oh, pass, Sam, always being so considerate to give me spaces to have to add things. Yeah. So I had to, like, I sat there and I'm like, what does the bedroom look like? Because obviously this is why I didn't describe it in the first place. I described enough of it so that I could write out what I wanted them to do. Because it's like towards the end of the chapter. So I was like, all right, I'll just put describe bedroom now and then finish up this scene and I'll worry about describing it later.
Yeah.
Later,
Yeah, I'm having that same trouble with locations in my book. I'm like very basic descriptions, and I'm like, I will add more later. It's unfortunate.
See, the thing I'm reading right now.
Right now, but then later comes. Sorry, what were you saying, Laura?
The thing I'm reading right now is like pages of description of the environment. It's like, this is too much, dude.
You're not Laura. I'm not adding in that much description.
It's like, okay, we get it. Yeah.
I will never add in more detail than I find interesting, because there are so many times when I read books and like with that old man fantasy voice, and I'm like, I don't care anymore. It has been 3 pages. I was mildly intrigued when we began, but now I just want it to end.
Yep.
But also, like, I can't just ignore anything, because there, amongst all these 10 details that don't matter, there might be that one that foreshadows a thing later, and damn it, my Sherlock brain needs to know. I need to know that one detail. So, JC got 171 new words in this chapter that I'm revising before I went to fix dinner. Yes, eating is important. When describing bedrooms or whatever room, how much detail do you all go into? So this is a layered answer, because first I write third person deep, so that goes into it. I am not going to put in more detail than my character is going to bother paying attention to. So like for Save Her Soul, Rochelle's chapters tend to have more environmental description of like little details and stuff, because she pays attention to that, whereas Moxie tends to have more like noticing of the like people and the vibes and stuff around her. So depending on which one you gel with more, one or the other will feel more immersive. For this, they've literally been walking down hallways, and like Moxie took note of one hallway and then has not paid attention to a hallway since. She was like, it's a hallway. But like they got into the office where they are trying to figure out some stuff, and Moxie's like, she's mostly following a scent trail, so she's noticing like everything near and around the scent, but otherwise she kind of like there's art on the wall and she doesn't really care about what the art is. She's just like, oh, it's on the wall. Whereas when they were in the hotel, Rochelle like I described the kinds of paintings and stuff because Rochelle was paying attention to that. And now they're in Rochelle's room, and Rochelle is the gal that Moxie has a thing for. So she's about to pay more attention than she has to the environment, because she's going to be like, I can learn things here. Hold up. So
I think
so
it
all
depends.
It depends.
It
Also,
depends
like
on the character.
vibe,
Yeah.
and the vibe and the tone you're trying to set.
The emotional state of the character as they get into the room can help.
That too.
Like, are they feeling sentimental when they go into the room because it's the last time before they leave and move out of the house? And then they're going to be focusing more on the little trinkets and personal touches and things that they're going to miss. Or are they moving into a new place and they're like, oh my gosh, there's all this potential here. And just more emotional about, like, instead of describing every possibility, describe more of the emotions. And sometimes you can describe things through the senses other than just sight. So as they reach for something, as their hand brushes against something, you describe that as well. As their fingers trace over the stuff on the desk. Just
like
so
if
it's
they're
not all sight.
Yeah, so like if they're walking through and their eyes are like, they're like focusing on a bed in the background, and then their hand like touches the velvet curtain of the window, then that's one way to like use more than just sight to describe things. Also, if people are like panicked or they're in a rush, they notice less. So then you would describe less of the environment around them.
So if I am feeling, if me, the character, am feeling very depressed in a bedroom, I'm probably not going to be thinking about the artwork. I'm going to be thinking about the feel of the weight of the blanket on me as I pull it over my head, and just the temperature of inside the blankets, and if there's an animal, a pet trying to nudge me or whatever, like that's all I'll be focusing on. I don't care that there's a desk, that there's a lamp. My world is focused on the blanket and under the blanket.
If you have a satin sheet and you move your foot just slightly off of the warm part and it's so cold it feels wet, I fucking hate that feeling.
Yeah, I think
especially since we got a puppy, so I'm like, is it just because the sheet is cold? I hope it's just because the sheet is cold.
Yeah, I think it also depends on like knowing your character and how well you know your character, because for the debut novel that I was working on, the main character is more of a creative person. So when she looks at buildings and rooms, she's taking in textiles, but she doesn't know colors very well. So when she's describing something, it's like light gray or red. It's not like the
Raspberry
shade of smoke or like a blood red or anything. And the only time she takes in a color and like describes it is when it's her favorite color. So also understanding your character and specifically what details they will take out, because some will take in colors and materials and others will take in textures and patterns.
Like a fashion designer will take in different aspects versus like a chef.
Yeah, and that will also help you
first things
decide.
that they notice on a person too.
Yeah, that'll also help you decide how much studying you have to do in regards to materials within the space. Because someone who knows wood will know from looking at it what kind of wood it is.
Yeah, let me tell you, Rochelle like knows art. I don't know a lot about art. I was gonna use this one term because I was like, there was art on the wall from, like graffiti to, I can't remember the term, but the term that I wanted, I was like, I was pretty sure that was an art term, and I looked it up, and it is, but it's just not what I wanted at all, and I was like, well, shit, now I have to look up types of art. So until I figured out what it was, and I was like, why do characters have to know things? I don't know. Can't I just write all of my characters with my exact knowledge?
Seriously, for one of my contemporary romances, I had to do research, man, on oil painting and makeup and painting on canvas with makeup. Like what brands, what colors of the different shades of lipstick are best to work on canvas? How do you seal it all together so it doesn't smear? Like I had stuff bookmarked. It was fun, but
because you're not going to remember it all either. Because
it's like I've
it's
never oil painted in my life. I've done acrylics.
Yeah, and it's either not stuff that like you use routinely, so you're not going to keep it in mind for that use, or it's not stuff that you as a person are particularly interested in. Hey. No.
Eat bread.
No, it's Riju is getting too close to her. She's a grumpy Gus about the puppy. No, she's all the way on the other side of the room. Enough. I allow her to set her boundaries to a point. I don't let her bully her. I feel like my characters are like that. Grace is going to be, oh, look at this restaurant and some details. And her best friend Sarah is like, Gracie, it's a freaking restaurant.
Yeah.
I am a big food-oriented person, and so I love when one of my characters is food-oriented because I'm like, they can notice every smell, I'm like, it's extra funny because I had a friend who like told me, it's like, your character is like, nobody does that. But my children will literally come home and like, you open any food or anything with them in the house, and they like, my youngest comes downstairs and she'll be like, what's that smell? And I'm like, are you a werewolf? How did you there's always know when there's new food in the house, or when somebody starts cooking dinner.
I graduated from school with a bachelor's in design specializing in fashion, and I am trying really hard not to create a character focusing on fashion because I have a character for another series that will focus on fashion, and I'm like, I'm trying to like give my characters different hobbies.
Right.
And it's hard.
You know she's your grumpy Gus with you. Leave her be.
Happy.
Reggie's like, but Mom, I want to make friends. Sniffing her when she's growling at me is making friends, isn't it?
Did I just hear a werewolf?
Did you hear that?
That's the
That's
husky.
what I was like.
That's a husky.
They were giving away husky. Hold on. They were giving away some huskies in our neighborhood around the same time they were giving her away. And my husband was like, "Hun," I was like, "Never." He's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "They bitch too much."
We have 2 huskies on the property. So my family has like multiple families living on the same property because it's a pretty good sized property. So the 2 huskies are my cousin's dogs. One of them barks like crazy. Like, one of them is fine most of the time. This one sounds like we're killing it when my cousin comes home from work. Every day.
He's bitching.
Every
Huskies
single
are-
day. We are afraid of our neighbors calling the cops on us, saying they are torturing dogs. We're not.
Huskies are some of the most dramatic motherfuckers ever. They're so dramatic, they're so vocal, and I'm like, I could, like, just genuinely, I could not own a husky because they would make my migraines so much worse. And I'm like, no, I cannot. They're beautiful dogs and like super loving.
He's on his back with his paws in the air right now on the couch.
Roy's like, I'm not bitching.
And now he's here. He
You
knew I was talking
Hey,
about him.
Mama.
Hello.
You can't even think his name without him coming
I
to you.
know, I perfectly
know
didn't
better.
say his name. Oh, look at that stretch.
Come here, my precious. Yes.
Oh, he smells so good. In a bath.
Tina just said, Sam, my friend, I'm mildly behind on the stream, but if you ever need a human encyclopedia of art history to write Rochelle, I am here for you. I fully expect Tina to judge all of my arting and all of the art descriptions and everything. I look forward to the judgment, making sure I did it justice. I was starting to find us a timer. I got mildly distracted by things on my suggesteds.
So soft.
He looks like one of those pillows I just want to bury my face into at the store.
Yes.
I can't go past the pillow aisle in a store. I want to bury my face in it.
Duolingo's angry at me.
Oh, no.
Do you listen? You lose your streak.
Do you want to lose the streak? I bet you don't want to lose the streak. Do you know what will happen if you lose your streak? We will come for you. Laura, why don't you have a 20-minute puppy timer? I only see a 10-minute.
Oh. I think I made one and then I never uploaded it. I think I made it and then I ran out of space to render it.
Oh, fair. I was about to say, do you need 20 minutes of puppy footage? It'll be work, but I'll try to wrangle her for 20 minutes. This is a limited time offer. You have until she's not puppy size anymore.
If you
I
get
don't
me the
even know
footage,
what she needs
I'll make
to.
the timer.
Yes, the Roy husband summoned. I was doing so well with getting my productivity back up. And it's been like this for like the last 3 months. I'll do really well at getting it back up. And then my shot's late. And it's like, nope. But it's okay. I just have to put up till December.
Hey, Violet.
Ayo. Hopping into like the stream, I just hit 40K and I've done 3K today, so I'm done. Happy sprinting. Well, congrats and thanks for stopping by. Just put a 5-second loop on like you did for the mat snacking timer. Yes.
Or just like a photo and leave the photo for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do that. The mat snacking timer is like, I'm trying to figure out the thing itself was like less than 2 minutes, and then it's just looped for 20. So, but because of the way he eats, it genuinely just looks like he's eating for 20 minutes.
You are so soft, my dude.
I am mildly like not sleepy, but lethargic, I guess.
Yeah.
So I just see you with Roy, and I'm like, I just want to lay on Roy. Just use him as a pillow.
Yeah. I
And
squish
turn on
him.
my audiobook.
I squish him.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired. My shift wasn't that long, but it was really exhausting.
Ooh,
Wriggly.
he said, I'm done. Really?
And he's back to
Just
stare.
in the corner.
You didn't release me fast enough.
Yeah, my shift was only 4 hours, I think.
Mhm.
But it was just taxing for some reason. It was
Sometimes it's like that. When
Yeah.
I work at conventions, sometimes the last hour is the longest hour.
Yeah.
Because we'll be like, oh, only an hour left. And then it's like, how long has it been? 55 minutes left.
Just thinking the last hour is the longest, but to the tune of the first cut is the deepest.
Last hour's the longest.
Exactly.
It took my brain a little bit to like access that song in my. I was like, I think it's because I almost mixed it up with "Cut My Life into Pieces." Last resort.
This
That's
is
what
my last
Mm.
resort.
suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a fuck if I cut my arm bleeding. My mom was driving me and my sister somewhere recently, and let the bodies hit the floor came on, and I'm like,
Teenage angst.
yeah. I used to headbang to that song every time it came on. Now I don't headbang to it as hard as I used to, and one would be like, oh, is it because your hair is so heavy and neck problems? And I'm like, no, whiplash never stopped me. Now it's the migraine, because that will make me regret. Tina's work shifts feel like either they go by in 10 minutes or 12 hours. There is no in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've gotten a customer service retail job. and my social battery isn't that high.
Uh-huh.
So it feels like forever.
When I work conventions, that's like when I am in. Some of the times I'm living my best life because it just fuels my social battery, and I like talking to most of the peoples. But Nicole, what if I just decided not to do any more sprints for the night? What would you do? Because this here is a social channel.
It's a social stream. Ugh.
So I do have a timer up, and I was about to start us as a sprint. I just wanted to know.
Haha.
It's still not a puppy timer, Laura.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. All right. Count us down, Laura.
3, 2, 1, go.
The sprint's gonna go a little longer because I turned my back for 1 second and somebody stepped on the power button. And we're back. Oh, shit.
Exciting.
Sorry about that. I play my music through the desktop, so I forget to mute the desktop sometimes. But how did everybody do that sprint? I did questionably.
Same.
I was like, it's raining quite nicely, which on a level just does not help the lethargy, and especially since I have had a migraine all day, like the head squishy migraine all day, so thinking is just hard in general. And then I turned around to help my daughter get a cookie, and someone stepped on my power button.
Ooh.
So I had to let my computer figure out what it was doing, because it was like, do I shut down? Because things are open and running. And I'm like, no, you don't shut down. And it's like, well, now I have to open up everything that I shut off. And I'm like, yeah, you do. So I waited for that to happen. And then now I went back to look. I had written down the furniture that I want in her room. Well, the furniture that I want in her room to be mentioned, but that had gotten deleted. And so I sighed deep within my soul, wrote it down, saved the document, and then minimized the document. So I was like, I don't want to deal with that right now.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm ready to deal with it again. Just trying to figure out what order it should be dealt with. You too?
I spruced up some applesauce. Ate the applesauce.
How'd you spruce it up?
Cinnamon and sugar. Yeah. And I have found the Officer Pet from our original video that has all the slides.
Mm-hmm.
I misspelled Emma Bennett's name in it, so I had to fix it because I already have a 25-minute version exported, but her name is an extra T at the end. So I have to go back and redo it. So yeah.
I'm sorry. That's frustrating. Let's see. Tina said I have a sixth sense for when it's 10:30 because that's Tina's second coffee time. Fair. Tabling at conventions really are so nourishing to my creativity. I love doing them so much. One day I will table at a convention. One of my favorite things about working in agriculture outside is that my shifts never feel super long or super short. Like, you know how long roughly it is because of the sun, temperature, etc. Sir, as someone who did yard work and is an outdoorsy child, I beg to differ. When you are in the South and that summer sun, nah, that shit feels like hours. You've been out there 10 minutes. But I'm glad that you love your job so much that you are just acclimated to it. Yes, it was springtime. Tina said, you are lucky. I had to start taking out my recycling at work in the mornings because when I do it at 5 p.m., I miss the sun entirely. My children and I took the dogs out today when they get home when they got home from school. They get home at about 4:30. There is no sun anymore at between 5:30 and 6 is when the sun vanishes. So we're out there and it's 5, right? And one of my children, it's just like, Mom, it's getting so dark. I'm like, yeah, I know, baby. I promise it's only 5. And they're like, but Mom, the clouds. And I'm like, well, yeah, the clouds are getting darker. It's because it's going to rain, but it's fine. I promise. And they're like, not like child.
Them going over everything that Sam has potentially playfully lied to them about, wondering, is this something she would lie to us about? Would she mess with us?
Is the world actually ending?
Is the world ending? No. The odds are trying not to be your favorite Santa. They're trying, but I refuse. I will write this bedroom description. Maybe not before the end of the stream, but before I slumber this night, I will write this bedroom description. Got another 376 words. Oh yeah. 260 that time. Spent a few minutes trying to find music that was going to set the mood for this scene. That can be very important. I, at the moment, am not at all listening to scene-appropriate music. I'm just listening to the song I'm obsessed with, but it gives me a large hit of dopamine whenever I get to a specific part, because I always dance with it. So, makes me happy, and that's what matters. Or is it serotonin? I don't know. They're both happy drugs. They're happy chemicals? They're chemicals. They're happy chemicals. No writing done, but I got some research done on the aftermath of the Pompeii destruction via a volcano. Is anyone else's surgery history this weird? Probably. Just depends on the day. I'm in North Carolina, so get that. But like when it starts to really warm up, I know it's about 1. When it's really hot, I know it's about 2:30. And when it starts cooling down, I know it's after 3:30. I see what you mean. I see. And yes, I too can tell the relative time of the day based on the temperature and where the sun is. But I just meant feeling. So the song is called Paranoia. It's by Heartsteel. See, Riot Games created these virtual bands as kind of like costume story things for their characters. They have several bands right now. I am obsessed with most of them. Heartsteel is their newest one, and it's like it's a boy band. And so their song is so fun, and the music video is just so fun. It's basically just like 5 or 6 himbos having fun and making a video. And my favorite one, he's like dancing around in a boxing arena, and part of his verse is he's like, I took a big game. I'm the big boss. They get big mad. Take a big loss. And I just really like how he does that. But yeah, so I will link it in chat because like I said, very, very into it. But this is like Heartsteel's first one. So I'm like, I hope they make more. They're like band KDA. They released 2 singles and an EP. I forget. It's a mini album, basically, from what I understand. EP? I don't know what letters it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know what it stands for, but I think that's what it is.
Neither do I. I keep thinking English placement, because that's the type of test we took in high school. But that is not what EP stands for. My search history would be alarming for the FBI. Not sure about weird, but definitely not something I want them to see. I have similarly gotten Tina obsessed with these boys. So I have yet to decide a fave. So many good boys. Shet is my favorite because he was my favorite in the main storyline, and so I have a special place for him. Awesome. They also the voices that they hire for the bands are like pre-existing people. So for True Damage, Keke Palmer sings as one of the characters in True Damage, and they have in KDA they've got 2 people from who's the band? Idols. They're Idol, who they're a K-pop band. They've got 2 of them. So there are more. I just didn't know the other ones before. I don't usually listen to music to set a mood for a scene, but it feels right to write this particular scene to music. Oh, something's going down there, is how I interpret that. 59 words with a bio and snack break. Those are important.
I updated the timer. It's downloading, so then I can make a 20 and a 25-minute version.
Sweet.
I did nothing that sprint. I read a fan fiction.
Yay! I was so tempted. Oh my gosh! So a video showed up in my feed. It was somebody dressed up as Effie Trinket, and I was like, I haven't read Hunger Games fan fiction in years.
There may be a resurgence because that new Hunger Games movie hit theaters this month. So
Yeah, it hasn't received great reviews from people.
I know nothing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Madison Beer. She's the voice of the succubus. I only can remember this because on the mini album, like there's 4 members of KDA, and on the mini album, they each got their own song, basically. And so Madison Beer sings Evelyn's song, and her song is Villain, which is a really fun song if you like villain songs. I know that I showed a lot of KDA's songs to Stieg, and he really liked Villain. I had leftover ice cream birthday cake as a snack. Nice. I mean, you're not wrong, Sam. The main characters are going down. See, something's going down.
Sugar, we're going down.
I assume this is Madison Beer's song, boy shit. I heard the new Hunger Games movie is better than the rest of them put together. At least that's the reviews I'm hearing from people who went to see it and are fanatics.
Really?
Interesting. I never read
heard it got lukewarm reception, so I don't know. I heard it got lukewarm reception.
I never read the books. I saw the movies. Mainly because a lot of YA dystopian movies were coming out around that time, and my dad really, really wanted to see The Hunger Games because he heard that there was like a really good romance in it, and we left that movie with a very upset father because the romance in it was not good. And I just remember as a teenager, I thought that was like super. It was just super cute, and also just an interesting. What's the word? It's not just juxtaposition, but that's similar to what I mean. Because like my dad is this very gruff individual, right? Like big beard, leather, jeans and all that. And so like literally we look like we're going to the theater with this like biker gang leader or something, right? And so, and just to know how like huffy and disappointed he was because the romance in a teenage movie was not good. And like I was like, I mean, it was fine, Dad. It wasn't actually a romance. And he's like, but they advertised it as one. And I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
So, I love my dad. We also went to see Deadpool because like me, Chris, my sister, and our parents all went to see Deadpool because it was advertised as the rom-com. Also, like, me, my sister, and my dad are big Deadpool fans, like, before that, but it was also just, it was advertised as a rom-com, and we thought that was great, so. A friend of mine went to see the new Hunger Games and said it was super great, so.
Nice.
I remember hearing the newest book got lukewarm reception. I wonder if the movie is maybe adapting it better than the original. Now I'm curious to see it. I know that a lot of people, like when the book was announced, a lot of people were upset before it like came out because they were like they didn't see how the story could continue, but then it's supposed to be a prequel.
Yeah.
The new movie is about Snow
Mm-hmm.
and the first Hunger Games, and I think part of the reason why people were upset is because I think some of the details might not fully align with the original storyline that they made for Hunger Games. Because it came out so many years later, and the problems with those books is that when an author steps away from a story or a series for more than 5 years, the minor details don't coincide with what they created previously. If that makes sense.
Some authors also choose to intentionally change things because they're like, well, I can do this better now. And so they retcon, and then fans are mad about that. But then some other fans appreciate it. So it's hard to tell which it is.
The main issues I've heard about it are mainly regarding casting and cast-wise, just because of some stuff that's been happening.
I have heard absolutely nothing, so I don't know.
Some people are upset with Rachel Zegler because of some comments that she's made. Yeah, she's had some controversial takes.
Laura, are you also under the rock I'm under? Or do you know what she's talking about?
You guys don't.
I think I saw a headline, but I have no idea what she did.
So Rachel Zegler is also supposed to be playing Snow White.
Right.
For the live action Disney. And
was she the original one cast or the new one cast?
She is the original one casted for Disney. So
okay.
The way that she promoted the movie was terrible. Like, she started by saying that she watched the movie a few times. She absolutely loved it. And then she switched her story saying that she watched the movie once, went on the ride once, got scared of the ride, and never touched it again until she was casted. So,
wait, for Snow White or
Snow White?
It was Snow White's scary adventure, to be fair.
Can you hear the dog?
I'm trying to imagine. How old was she when she went on the ride?
Well, she's like 22, 24.
Okay, so how old was she when she went on the Snow White ride?
She said she was under 10.
Oh, okay.
So
I rescind my judgment.
The reason why people were upset is just because she lied. She said that she loved the movie and watched it multiple times, and then she backtracked and said that she watched it only once.
I was only laughing because I was imagining like an adult going on that little Snow White kids ride.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, it's possible, and I wouldn't openly mock anybody who did it. It's just y'all been on that ride.
And
yes.
So then she came out to say that she didn't like the fact that the Snow White movie was a romance. She didn't want to be in a romance. And she basically said that there was a chance that the prince could be completely written out of the movie because it's Hollywood, baby, quote on her. Like that, she quote unquote said that.
Because it's Hollywood, baby.
Yeah. And people are like, we like romance. We like this.
And contrary to popular rhetoric, Snow White and Florian did actually meet before she bit the apple. They have a song together. I know it's like not a lot, but like he had promised to come back for her. They were going to try to get betrothed. So questionable age gap aside,
Prince stalked her. That the prince stalks Snow White.
He does not.
And I'm like, you didn't watch the movie.
At least not recently. I've seen it recently.
So
My children,
apparently-
my children wanted to watch all of the movies I had seen as a child, so we've been going back and watching them all.
So yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna
No worries.
catch up on chat real quick. Honestly, more so than the actual movies, I really adore the advertising from the Hunger Games because they were so much, maybe unintentional, treating us consumers like capital citizens. I want that to be on purpose. I have literally seen none of the advertising. I only know this movie is out because the children don't have school Wednesday and Chris doesn't have work, so we were thinking of going to take them to the movies. But I saw it and I was like, oh, there's a new Hunger Games movie. Huh, that's the only reason I know. Oh, and I heard Viola Davis did amazing in her role as a villain, and honestly, she is enough of a reason to see that movie. I'll watch anything for Viola. But did she play the part in the movie well? Because that's all that matters. Viola Davis is in it? Yes. Oh, and Tina, if you're a fan of Peter Dinklage, he's also in the new Hunger Games. I mean, it sounds like I should watch it for people. I don't know. I think people wanted him to be in Snow White, but he was like very against it, unless Disney really changed their portrayal of the dwarves.
Yeah.
That was the last time about that. But what does any of that have to do with her role in Hunger Games?
Because I saw it may have been a fake poster. Because I thought I saw him.
I mean, he might have. Disney might have compromised for Peter. I'm just saying the last thing I heard, which was not at all recently. So, JC, yes, I saw he was in it and am a fan of him as well. But Viola Davis is really pushing me to see it. It's Hollywood Baby is kind of a vibe, though. I might start saying that to be sassy. Look, her saying that just reminds me of 1920s actors. Like, it's Hollywood Baby. But one of my fave ads was the original Resident Evil movie. It was a beauty ad that promised to restore youth until you saw the logo for the Umbrella Corporation, and everyone in the theater shouted. I remember that because I was confused because I didn't know why until my dad was like,
"Picture I saw." Come on, don't freeze. Let me share.
Yeah, as soon as you can share it, I'll put it up on screen. It's still loading. Yeah, my dad played the Resident Evil games, but like we weren't allowed to because my mom didn't want us to play that gore and stuff. But I was like, Dad, why does the Umbrella logo matter? He's like, oh, that's the corporation who makes the zombie in Resident Evil. And I was like, ah, and I suddenly got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the pictures I saw. So
I don't know why, but this is giving me, like, the moment I saw this is giving me vibes from the Peter Pan song where it's the little boys are like walking and they're like, we're off to fight the. I don't want to say the word because it's not, but it's that song.
Yeah, so that's actually an official post because that was a photo released by Disney. It wasn't.
Yeah, so then they must have compromised with Peter on something because it was like really important to him. So I don't remember what.
So if this part is correct, I do not quote me on this because I'm not sure if this is like the internet or if this actually happened. But
fair enough.
If this is correct, then Peter was upset that the Snow White story had dwarves. And he didn't want there to be dwarves. So if this is correct, then they were calling them the 7 magical creatures, not dwarves.
He was, from my memory, he was upset at the dwarves thing because
and I think they were saying that the 7 dwarves lived in a cave. Either that was him or Rachel Zegler saying that. But they live in a house, not a cave.
Because there's also this, which is a very different portrayal.
The one with Snow White sitting. So that was the second post. If what I know is correct, that was the second released photo later on, because I think they were redoing it because Disney released the first photo and everybody was upset. And then they had to redo it with this effect. I don't know if this is an official photo, though.
This is why I just wait till movies are out and then I watch them and make my own judgments.
Yeah, there are a lot of... So I'm so passionate about this because my mom used to work for Disney. So, like, Disney has been a really big part of my life and, like, my family's life. So I've been following this story quite closely. So, like, the marketing behind this movie, Rachel has basically claimed that they have completely rewritten and redone an entirely different story to the original Snow White. And everybody's like, if you're not remaking the original, why not just make a new movie?
Because then they can't extend the trademark.
Yeah, because apparently the Snow White that's the whole
reason they're doing it.
Apparently the Snow White they're doing is like a warrior saving herself, kind of like a Mulan almost story.
Okay.
And there was also potentially a release that the director was upset with the way that Rachel Zegler was promoting the movie, because apparently they've stuck quite closely to the original story than what she has claimed. So there's problems.
Right, hold on, we're catching up on chat. So Tina said for the first Hunger Games movie, them pushing the romance, and then the movie itself having them fake a romance. Chef's kiss to my artsy brain, but I understand people be. All right, so I don't actually know if Hunger Games advertised it as a romance or if my dad just thought there would be a romance.
I think it was advertised as a dystopian YA action. I think it was like a subtle romance or like a subgenre romance. But I don't think it was officially a romance. Yeah. I think if there was marketing for the romance, he was
just expecting it. Like I said, it was just sort of a cute dad story. That's all. I was sharing that. Mimi says, I used to work for Disney and it was a huge part of my life too, but I honestly don't think any of this outside of Peter Dinklage's pain is worth the outrage. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think his issue is that dwarfs in most media, but especially in the Snow White movie, are often portrayed as if they are just people with dwarfism. And so, but then they're portrayed as something other than human. And that was his issue because, like, people with dwarfism are just people. So I think that's what the issue was, if I'm remembering correctly, and that's why he wanted it changed if he was going to be in it. Which I'm like, I can see and I can agree with that, especially since like dwarves in like the origin of dwarf myths is Tolkien based his stuff on Scandinavian dwarves, which are not described as small people. They're basically just elves with obsidian skin that live under the ground. So, like, and all of that came from like Tolkien and him doing all that. So it's, yeah, I can understand that. I refuse to watch any of the Disney live action movies anyway, so I won't be watching it. The only live action they got right was Cinderella with Brandy and Whoopi Goldberg way back when.
That one.
They actually did Aladdin really well.
I have not seen Aladdin, but I refuse to even give it a chance after I heard Jasmine's song. And I decided that nope, I would just make myself angry watching it. because what I know is that Jasmine's song is like, I won't be silent anymore. Jasmine was never silent in the first place. That was not a thing.
Actually,
Jasmine didn't need a character arc in the movie. Like, first of all, Aladdin's the main character. He's the one who goes through a character arc. Jasmine's character arc is actually stagnant in the original movie because she didn't need it. She wanted to, like, she was outspoken and wanted to be independent and pick somebody that she loved, not just someone with money and status. And that's what she did. So I'm like, she doesn't need a song about not being silent anymore.
They adapted the story slightly to not only take inspiration from the original, but also make it different in their own story. So Jasmine's goal is to want to become sultan after her father, and women aren't allowed to become sultan. So the song is basically
but that feels like a step back in feminism for me. That feels like they're taking a step back from the original, and I don't like that. I just don't, especially since, according to my sister, after that song, Jasmine gets stuck and doesn't like speak for a long ass time.
Immediately
So
silenced.
like, yeah, she is immediately silenced, which is not good subliminal messaging right there. So I'm just like, I am going to believe my sister on this because like she told me right after she watched it and the level of upset she was about this. But yeah, so I just decided that one wasn't for me. I watched the Cinderella remake, which I actually thought was cute, but I didn't realize was supposed to be a remake because I just thought they were making a new Cinderella because there's 8,000 of them.
It wasn't fully advertised as just Disney. It was mixed with another company.
Yeah, so
that's the only live action one I own.
And then I watched the Beauty and the Beast one, and I was just no. Just LeFou was the only good part of that movie. He was it.
The villagers
I
sing Gaston's praises. That was a fun touch.
As much as I love Luke Evans, he is not a Gaston. I adore that man as an actor, but he was not a Gaston. And then somebody said recently, they were like, you know what, we missed out on the opportunity to have
Hugh Jackman.
What was his name? No, not Hugh. Patrick Wahlberg? Is that his name? The guy who voices Krunk.
Patrick Warburton.
Thank you. They were like him, and I'm like, oh my god, but I would have loved to have seen him as Gaston. That would have been fascinating.
Because Hugh Jackman actually played Gaston on Broadway, didn't he?
Perhaps, but I'm not saying he wouldn't make a good Gaston. I'm just saying I have a bias.
Yeah.
Of who I now want to see as Gaston. But my dad and I went to see The Lion King live action in theater because the cartoon was the first movie my dad and I ever went to see on like our daddy-daughter dates when I was a kid. So since like we saw that, we were like, okay, let's go watch the live action. We left that theater so disappointed. We were like, that movie was no. First of all, if you were gonna frame by frame reanimate an animated movie, why would you bother changing any of the parts I liked? Like, it's almost frame by frame. So, and it's not even live action. Everything was CG anyway.
The only live actions I've seen are Cinderella, Jungle Book. Does Maleficent count?
That was good.
Yeah.
I saw Maleficent, the first one.
That one's a tricky one. I think it legally counts so they can keep their trademark, but I myself would not count it because it's about a different character.
It counts as a live action remake, but it's basically almost a completely different story.
It felt like fan fiction to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an AU. It was cute though. I like that one.
Yeah.
I remember there being ads. Okay, well, let me an asterisk. I liked it as an AU, not as a Maleficent movie, but as an AU, I thought it was really cute. But as a Maleficent movie, I was like, no, she was a ruthless bitch who was offended. Let her be such.
Yeah.
Yes.
She doesn't.
Yes.
She doesn't need a traumatic, a tragic
A
romance
man.
background to justify herself. I was like, no, just
Yeah.
because that's one of the reasons I love Maleficent. Because I do love villains who are evil just because they're assholes. And she
Yeah.
was like, they societally offended her. Like, according to the conventions of society, she was justified to curse their infant. Was it still a pretty shitty thing to do? Well, yeah, but they knew the risk they were running when they didn't invite her to the birth party. I'm just saying.
And like she should have, with what happened with the live action, she should have. It was worse than the animation.
Hold on. Fox is like, we did what? Or Fox is like, you watched the live action Aladdin movie with me in person when I visited. That happened, and I'm like, I have no memory of this. That's how bad it was, y'all. I have erased this movie from my mind.
I was excited for Dumbo, and then I never saw it.
I refused to watch Dumbo because I misremembered the first one. And I thought his mama died, and so I was like, I refuse to watch that in live action.
Mama lives.
I
Mama lives.
recently looked it up, and I was like, I've been wrong this
She's
whole
just
time.
an elephant
It's like
jail.
it's like in the Black Cauldron. I thought the little fuzzy guy died and stayed dead, but he came back. I don't know why I don't remember people or these animals living. I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna. Maybe me thinking they died as a child was just like, no, blocked it all. I remember there being ads highlighting the romance when the Hunger Games came out, but I don't remember the specifics. I was in high school. Now I am an old fart. I saw absolutely no ads for the Hunger Games. My dad was just like, do you want to go watch this teen romance movie with me? There's also like a murder tournament. And I was like, yeah, let's go. We are all old farts, JC. We just have to cloud together now. I am ancient. I am Mina, and my husband is Mina, and New Aladdin pissed us off. Oh, man, I am Mena, and my husband is Mena, the New Aladdin. Okay. Sorry, I thought, like, you were saying a name of a person.
Yeah.
I was missing something, but I see what you mean. Aladdin was all right. The live actions have all felt really hollow to me, but I also haven't seen The Little Mermaid yet.
I have.
I have heard that the actors in The Little Mermaid acted their asses off, but it is not their fault. The movie is bad. I've heard so many people defend the actors. It's like it's not their fault. So, to be fair, old Aladdin also pissed my husband off. I could see that. Like
I missed Dumbo. I missed Pinocchio. I missed Aladdin. I missed Little Mermaid. I missed Lady and the Tramp. I missed.
I have absolutely
Lion King.
I will say I have absolutely no idea how authentic or accurate or anything Aladdin was to Middle Eastern culture, because as a child, my father made sure that I knew Agrabah was made up, so I just put Aladdin as a made up place. But considering how many people I have met as adults who think Agrabah is the actual place that exists in the Middle East, I'm like, well then.
Wakanda forever.
They changed up the costume for Aladdin, which, me being a fashion designer, I loved. They adjusted her costume to have like covering her stomach, and her teal blue outfit has a tan piece on her stomach to connect to the animation. So I love the costume.
My daughter said Aladdin and Little Mermaid are her favorite remakes, but then I introduced her to the Brandy Cinderella. Good. I love the Brandy Cinderella. It is so campy and over the top, though. Like, I I really loved it as a kid, and I watched it recently, and I still love it. I was just like watching it, and I'm like, Brandy's Cinderella is so overtly optimistic and just kind of like dreamy. I'm like, oh my god, I did not remember her being this way. But like, I still love it, and I'm not saying anything bad about it. Just that like, I did not remember it that way. But it's great, and everybody's just so happy in that movie, except the one guy who's super stressed and who almost dies from his stress several times. I can't remember his name or the actor though. Yeah. Yeah, that scene of Jasmine being silenced felt painful and unnecessary. Disney just needs to stop the live action movies. They're horrible. They can find another way to extend their trademarks, surely. Rogers and Hammerstein with Disney. Yes, Nia, I was trying to think of the name. Nope, I think some of them, but it's not for everyone. Also, let me tell you, I always say Brandy's Cinderella, and then my husband will be like Rogers and Hammerstein, and I'll be like, the what now? And he's like, it's actually called the Rogers and Hammerstein Cinderella. And I'm like, that's very nice for the official title. I'm like,
That's very nice for you. What?
I was like, I will never recognize it that way. I'm working on it. I like some of them, but it's not for everyone. Yes, let it be an AU. Dumbo. They're making a new Bambi, and I was like, oh man, yet another generation will be traumatized. And my mom goes, oh no, they're not going to kill them all. And I'm like, what?
That's the story.
That's the only part we quote at my house back home. Mother, we made it, Mother. We made it. Mother. That's all we quote from that movie.
That part traumatized Stephen King, and he vowed to not let his children watch Disney before a certain age because of it. Mama dies in Land Before Time. Is that a Disney movie?
Was that the dinosaur movie?
Yeah, it's the dinosaur. It's the series of dinosaur movies. There's like what, 12 of them?
I think there's like 15.
Stevie. Yeah. The story of Ducky's voice actress is sad. Only look that up if you are prepared to be saddened. The singing in what is LM? Y'all help me out.
Oh, I
Little Mermaid.
15. There's only 14 of them.
Damn, I was so close. I thought 13 at first, and I'm like, nah, I'll go with 12 to be safe. Right, the singing in Little Mermaid was great. There was mostly hate for other reasons, just saying. I've been avoiding like looking at the specifics until I see it, so I like the Lily what's her face Cinderella. I thought you were gonna say the Lily White Cinderella. I was gonna be like, a lot of them are, but I don't remember her name. Aladdin has no semblance of Middle Eastern culture. It's basically Bollywood, which is not Middle Eastern. They're like, meh. No one wants something. That's what feels off about. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Bollywood. I do own some of those movies on disc.
Oh yeah, but that's in Asia.
Different culture.
Give me a moment.
India is technically a part of Asia.
South Asia. Okay. I'm like, oh god, I'm about to look really bad if I can't remember this correctly. The one with the tiny waist. Oh, okay.
And the butterflies.
Butterflies. We feel like MENA culture needs a Pixar Coco treatment. It does. I would be all for that. Pixar knocks it out the park with their cultural rep. We just need them to make all of the kids' movies. I love
Encanto was gorgeous.
Oh yes, I loved Encanto. I loved that when the OG cartoons came out, even the problematic, we were allowed to enjoy it. Kids these days can't just enjoy things, mostly because of us oldies. See, but Nia, this is why I watch the old ones with my children. And then now Disney pops up a thing every time we want to watch The Jungle Book where it says there are racist depictions in this movie. And my children look at me and I'm like, hold on, I have to Google to make sure I tell you correctly.
'cause,
They have
like,
that with Dumbo as well because of the black
Yeah.
crows.
See, with Dumbo, I knew why. With the Jungle Book, I was like, it's been so long since I've seen this movie, and I was so young. I don't know if I would know. So, because like I believe it is an important conversation to have with my kids, and especially if the movie's prompting it. I don't want to brush it off or anything. It's just sometimes Mama needs a little bit to educate herself before she can educate anybody else. So it's like when I'm in the middle of trying to do something else, and then they're like, "Oh, let's watch a Disney movie," and that pops up, and I'm like, "Well, I guess I'm not doing what I wanted to do." 1000%. I don't think I've seen Brandy's Cinderella. We should. You can stream it somewhere. I don't remember where. Laura, no. Really, Laura, that's the only part.
Okay, that's the most quoted part. Far below in second is we do say something's Twitter pated.
Oh yeah. Is a Don Bluth movie, I think. Ah, yes.
Only
Don
the
Bluth,
first one.
the Rebel Disney. Littlefoot friends for dinner.
Oh, no. See, we only had one of the Land Before Times, and it wasn't the original one. We had the one with Chomper, the little baby T-Rex.
Chomper!
Yeah.
Bollywood is fun, but different cultures, yeah. And yeah, Bollywood is very fun to watch. Turning Red is great rape of being a child in Toronto.
I still need to see it.
You haven't seen it?
Uh-oh.
Oh, you should. It's
And I'm in
amazing.
Toronto.
You should represent. And Don Bluth started at Disney, The Rescuers. Yeah,
I love
Don
the
Bluth.
Rescuers.
I affectionately call Don Bluth in all of his movies the rebel Disneyer because he left Disney. Like there was some issue, and then he was like, "I'm gonna start my own small studio and just keep using Disney's art style." That's how we got Anastasia. Yeah, the crows in Dumbo, we can't brush it off. We need to explain, but yeah, well, that stuff was problematic. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
See, I didn't know it was white guys voicing them as well in Dumbo.
Oh, yeah. Does anyone remember the dinosaur TV show? Not the mama. Not the mama. I will say the stuff in the while I get our next timer set up. What the stuff in the Jungle Book was, it wasn't anything I thought might have been it. It's the Orangutan Jazz Club. Now, as a kid, I really liked it because I liked jazz and scat music. So I just thought that was cool to see it in a movie. But what Baby Sam did not know was that at the time the movie was being made, there was a lot of societal politics going around with jazz. Like they were trying to demonize jazz music in jazz clubs and say that they were like, basically the sinful Satan places. And so it is believed that Disney positioned the orangutans and the chimps as a jazz club because, they're antagonists of the movie on purpose. Also just the long history of apes in media being compared to or unflatteringly representative of African Americans. Yeah, you hear one of my cats, they're bitching about something.
They want bread.
No, that's the other one. I'm finding where we were here. Anastasia spooked me so much as a child, but I did like it. Oh, it's so
In the dark of the night, terror will find you.
Find you in the dark of the night on the street. Soon she will see that the nightmares are real. I love that. And my dad is a big fan of Rasputin, the historical figure.
Really?
And so, yeah.
Did he never bathe?
My dad's real interesting, Laura. He just gets mad that the teen romance movie didn't have enough teen romance. Big fan of a questionable sorcerer in history. Yeah, so he, a lot of kids' movies, I got to know whether they were historically accurate or not because of my dad. Like Hercules, he was like, this is not accurate to the myths. And I'm like, well, what's different? And he'd be like, Zeus, Hera, not happily married. And I was like, oh. So yeah, with Anastasia, he would be like, now they don't have solid evidence that Rasputin was sold his soul to the devil, but there were a lot of mysterious things that happened around him. And I'm like, do go on. So
He survived a poisoning.
yeah. We were talking about dinosaurs, and I just thought about that show. I mean, that's fair. You can really tell his art style from Disney, though. His facial expressions, chef's kiss. Yes. Secret of Nim was the one that. Oh God, Secret of Nim. Thanks to Secret of Nim, any cartoon I see in that particular art style, I'm like, this is gonna be sad.
Yo, that owl was terrifying.
The Rabbit movie.
Watership Down.
Yes. Oh, it's fine. I understood what you meant. Yep. Secret of Nim. I hear. Oh yeah. What did y'all think about The Lion King, the live action as opposed to the animated movie? I said that my dad and I went to see the live action because the animated movie was the first movie that he and I ever saw together in theaters, and we left very disappointed.
Yeah. I haven't watched it just because I don't think I can get past the way they chose to like animate the talking animals.
The problem with the way they chose to do the new CGI is they wanted to go for like hyper realistic, and the issue is animal faces don't quite emote the same way people faces emote.
It was the same way with The Little Mermaid. They went hyper realistic, but they didn't change the jokes to fit hyper realistic. They still wrote the jokes as if the characters had very expressive faces. So they didn't hit as well, in my opinion.
I love the Boney M. Rasputin song, and I'm glad that it made a comeback because that's it. I need to see why it's there. Live action. Yeah, it is. That's the thing. It's just a reanimated movie. Yeah, I can see that, Bella. It was weird. Maybe weird isn't the word. Stiff, perhaps?
Off-putting.
Talking animal stuff makes me nervous to watch. That's fair. All right. Unfortunately, we've been talking for such that we cannot do another 20-minute, but that's okay because Sam's not feeling the best, and hanging out with y'all has made Sam feel better. So
Yay!
we're still good.
Mission accomplished.
So we'll go ahead and do a 15-minute, and then everybody will share how they did, and then we'll head off for the night. And Bella, do you want to do our last countdown?
Sure. 3, 2, 1.
Can we be? Oh shit. I'm sorry.
He's making noises in his sleep.
I was about to ask if Roy was bothering you to go to sleep.
He's making puppy sleepy noises. It's so cute. Oh no, he woke up! Dang it! It's the
You
little sleep
can't
wolf.
talk about him, Laura. You
I
know
know.
he senses it.
His sleep wolves are so cute, though. Plopped his head back down.
This is a tiny shadow void puppy.
Hello, Void.
How did y'all do?
I got through 3 pages. Yep.
How many more do you have to go?
12.
You got like halfway there.
Yeah.
I described the room and then revised a sentence later on. I've got like 4 paragraphs left of this chapter. That's it.
You're muted.
I got 224 words.
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's abandoned me for my room.
Neo went to sleep. Whoops, I'm alarmed. Ending the stream listening to The Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's a good soundtrack.
The Broadway
I've just
one?
I've just been social this stream, but I might do a sprint in the Sam's Room later to get a bit of writing in before bed. Mimi will join you, depending on the time. I too shall join you. I've got one more night of putting the children to bed, and then they get to run the wilds for the week. 213 words. Oh, yeah. 185 for that one. Gonna keep working on it a bit because now I'm in the groove. Oh, yeah. Mood music. Get in the groove. Shake your groove thing. Oh, yeah. Right. Time to say our goodbyes. Bella, you get to go first.
Cool. Hi guys. So I didn't really get to do an intro, so I'm gonna do a smidge of that. So my name is Isabella, but I go by Bella Rivea on YouTube, and I am mainly doing vlogging and just lifestyle stuff because I am a multi-passionate creative person. I finished my debut novel back in September, and I will start editing that either December or January. So if you keep up, you'll be able to see the process of that.
What genre?
And
What genre?
romantic fantasy or fantasy romance? I'm not quite sure.
Sweet.
But it's an adult of that, mainly revolving around romance surrounding fantasy creatures and beings of sorts. And I am currently working on a book for a different series revolved around a polyamorous werewolf story with 4 people.
Speaking of howling.
Huh?
I said, speaking of howling.
Yes. And I got lots of exciting things coming up in 2024. So subscribe to my YouTube channel because I will be showing all of that.
Sweet.
She's muted.
Hi. I am Laura. I have been here, and it's been great. And I think Nia is streaming tomorrow. Who knows? We shall see. And then I think Tiffany is streaming Thursday. So I shall be at those places. And yeah.
Laura will
I'll-
also be here the 4th and the 11th in December, since
Yes.
I could not make the holiday. But like, some people are only available before the 20th, and then other people are only available after the 20th. And I was like, why are you all doing this to me?
I'm
These people
flying to
you're-
Cali.
You're traveling.
I'll let you know my schedule so that I can
Yes.
fill in any days if you need me to.
And I am Writing Mom Samantha L. Nassett. On my channel, I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer-parent things. We're going to have a pretty chill rest of the year because I'm playing fast and loose with my migraine medication right now. But if you would like to read samples of my writing, you go to my website, SamanthaLNassett.com. And if you want to hang out with me and everything, you can sign up for my $1 membership tier at my Coffee, Ko-Fi down below. And I will see everybody on Monday. Bye.